Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a couple days since I have put anything up, so I figured that I would get this done. Today I am actually going to do a video a little bit different. It's not a makeup video or beauty video, but more of a lifestyle video. I am going to do a video on tips for people with anxiety. So if you would like to know some of my tips and things that help me, then keep watching. Please go ahead and subscribe. That would be amazing. I'm so close to 100. So that would be awesome to be able to hit 100. I do have, what is it called? Like a mystery beauty box thing for tomorrow night, and I have a couple other things coming, but yeah, so if you want to go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell if you want to know when my videos are going to be up. I don't have a set schedule yet, so yeah. Anyways, the reason that I decided to do this video is because anxiety is something that I deal with every single day, and I know that a lot of people do, especially in this world today. So I just thought, you know, I'm not a therapist. I'm not licensed in any mental health, in the mental health field at all. I do have a nursing degree, but I'm no expert, but I'm just going from my things that I have done personally, that I've researched, and that work for me. So also, at the end of this video, there is going to be a giveaway related to this video. So, I'll go ahead and get started here. First off, I hope you guys can't hear the rain. It is raining again, and it's like 45 degrees. I'm so over this weather. Like, where should I move? Please tell me where's somewhere that's not raining all the time. And then all the tornadoes, what was there, like 18 that touched down, like Oklahoma, Texas, and all of that. So that's so sad. That kind of stuff just makes my anxiety worse. But anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'll just give you a little bit of background. When I was 24 years old, I was diagnosed with a generalized anxiety, panic disorder. And you know, when I think about it, at times before that, I do remember times when I was young. For example, I remember I was probably 8, maybe 8 or 9, and my mom would tell me to go take a shower or a bath, and I would run the water, and for some reason when I would run the water, I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I remember that, and so I feel like that was anxiety. I used to hate getting water on my face. Now I love it, but that, you know, I see that as anxiety from when I was younger. And then I remember in 3rd or 4th grade, our teacher read us Night of the Twisters. You know how the teachers would read the book out loud, you know, 20 minutes a day or something. And I don't know if you've ever read that book, but it had me deathly afraid of tornadoes for the longest time, like complete irrational fear. And I don't think I would have had such an irrational fear if I didn't have some anxiety going on. So those are just some things that stand out that I can think about from when I was younger. So I think that I had it before. But my grandmother, she passed away in 2008 from cancer, but she had what is called agoraphobia and didn't leave the house. Sometimes she would leave, but she would come over to like my mom's house, my parents' house, you know, something like that. But then, you know, she would feel the need to go back home. And I never understood it until I started having panic attacks myself. It's been a very long time since I've had a panic attack, but that's because I've put a lot of things into place. And I belong to some support groups on Facebook, and I try to help out as much as I can. But to be honest, you really have to do the work. And I refused to let this overtake me like my grandmother, like it did to my grandmother. I have been taking anxiety medication or depression medication because I was diagnosed with that as well. I've been taking it for a long time. I don't ever see myself ever getting off of it, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I see it as, you know, kind of like, you know, as a disease. So anyways, there's a lot of things that I do. Can you hear my cats? So I just wanted to give you guys some tips. So I made a list while I was laying in bed the other night. So, I mean, anxiety can be exhausting. It can be so exhausting living with it every day, especially if you worry about everything like I do. I mean, I worry about stuff that I can't control. That is one of the worst things. So if you can try and work on not worrying about things that you can't control, you know, if you're worried about something, write it down and then write down how you can control it. You know, and it's, I mean, people say that all the time, and so it sounds so easy. It's not. I'm worried right now because my parents farm, and we've gotten so much rain that they can't even get their crop in, and it's still supposed to keep raining. So I worry about that, but can I do anything about it? No, I can't. I mean, it's the rain. Like, there's nothing I can do. So I try to just kind of put that on the back burner and, you know, not worry about that. But I mean, a day of worrying and a day with anxiety that's pretty bad can make you completely mentally exhausted. So one thing that I find that helps me is having a routine. So for example, in the morning I get up, I wake up, I look at my phone, and I know they say don't look at your phone, blah, blah, blah in the morning, but I don't look at the news because that will just stress me out. So I look on Facebook, look on Instagram, watch a YouTube video, whatever it may be. I used to use a Happy Light because of my depression in the winter, but I haven't used it in a long time. So I find that that really helps though with depression. So then I do yoga poses. So yoga poses that I found like on Pinterest or on like Google, and I look for yoga poses that help with anxiety, with depression, with sleep, you know, whatever it may be. And so for a while I was doing for inflammation. So I just look for those. I do like 5 poses. I stretch, breathe, that kind of thing. In the evening, I kind of do the same thing. It's, you know, I come up to my room at a certain time, and to be honest, my evening routine is not what it used to be as much because I've been so busy. Like, I've been driving Lyft so much in the evenings. I normally don't, but my son and I are going on vacation. So I'm just trying to save up, work as much as I can, you know, to save up as much as I can. So, but before, I would come upstairs at an early time. I wash my face, change into something comfortable. Or obviously pajamas. I'm already in something comfortable usually, but so I do that, do my nighttime skincare. I turn my lamp on, the one over here. This one needs a bulb. So I have a candle going right here. So sometimes I light a candle. I would turn on Gilmore Girls and color. And so that is one thing. I also would journal, and I'm horrible about it because I would journal mainly when I was feeling the worst, and then I would stop when I felt better, and I gotta stop doing that. So another tip is journaling. Go to Barnes & Noble, you guys have Barnes & Noble, or, you know, another bookstore, even Target, and look at all of their journals and look and pick one out that makes you feel calm or kind of gives you the warm fuzzies. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like when I look at not screensavers, but wallpaper for my phone, for example, I look through like spring and find something that looks calming to me and gives me like a relaxed feeling. And so that's what I do with a journal. And I don't know how many journals I've bought over the years, but buy a journal that makes you feel relaxed, buy a nice pen, a pen that writes really nice. And then use it every night. One thing you can do, what I do after I'm done journaling, which is another tip, is a gratitude journal. So what I do afterwards is I try and think of 3 things minimum that I am grateful for that day. And the reason that you do that is it's to have your brain think things, you know, like, I don't know, make you focus on the positive, I guess. And so there would be times that I couldn't think of anything that I would be like, okay, well, let's see. My cat was sitting by me and looked so cute. I mean, just the littlest, tiniest things. And some days you're going to have a bunch of things that were amazing that day that happened and that you're grateful for. And some days it's going to be really, really hard to even find 3, if you deal with this. But the more you do it, I mean, research shows that it really helps. And I really agree with that. So let me go back to the routines for just a second. One thing I forgot to mention. So at night, I set out my clothes most of the time for the next day. I try to figure out what I'm going to bring for lunch. I make the same breakfast every morning right now. It's a shake that I make. It's keto. I make it like out of my own mind, whatever. So I set out, if you can make your lunch ahead of time and have it ready. So basically what that helps with is, in a day, your brain can only make so many decisions before you get exhausted. And for everybody, that's different. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't have as many decisions to make, that's going to help. So if you wake up and you're like, okay, so I'm just going to, here's my clothes, here's my lunch, let's go. So, the more that you can do that, the better. So you don't have to use your decision making in the morning. So yeah, that's just less decisions that you have to make because you're going to make them all day long. Okay, so one other thing that I mentioned that I do at night is coloring, and I do that a lot. Coloring relaxes the brain. You focus on what you're doing instead of focusing on all the world's problems and everything that's going on in your life. So I already talked about yoga. Another thing is try to make your bedroom a sanctuary. Like my room I use grays. I have like blush color, if you can see right there. I have like my blush color blankie that I sleep with every night. And so to me, it's calming. And so I have those colors around my room. I have things up on my wall like that says, she believed she could, so she did. I have another one that's like right away in the morning, I wake up and it says, you got this. So try and make your bedroom super relaxing because I think that helps. So if you can paint your room a color that you find really relaxing. Don't use red. I mean, red is my favorite color, but it's funny, but red is one that's shown to cause anxiety. Blue is a really good color. It promotes calm and peace, relaxation, slowing down. Violet, like purples, same type of thing. Pink is calm, clarity of thought, kindness. So yeah, just, kind of think about your color scheme. Well, I'll go into another tip here is clean. Keep your room clean. Keep your room clutter-free. Keep your house, your apartment, wherever you live, whatever your space is, clutter-free. It is shown in research that clutter can make you more anxious. And I know, like, I have so much stuff to do around my townhouse, and I've been so busy working all the time that there's stuff that I don't have done, and it's bugging the crap out of me. So decluttering is really great. And there's also podcasts that you can listen to about decluttering. And so it's basically decluttering your space and decluttering your mind. And I found those are pretty helpful. So another thing that I do, and this if you suffer from anxiety, you already know this, but is the deep breathing, the belly breathing. I find that it really slows down my heart rate when I'm really feeling anxious. That goes into meditation, also yoga, because you do the breathing with yoga, but also meditation. Try and find 10 minutes a day where you can just focus on absolutely nothing in your brain, and something comes in your brain and kick it out. Like just kick it out. Like what I like to do is when I have my eyes closed, like focus on a candle flame and just picture that, just the flame going back and forth. So, thoughts will enter your mind. If you need to, use an app. There's so many. Like I use Andrew Johnson apps when I'm going to sleep, but I do have, there's an app, it's like the Happy Place or something like that. I haven't used it for a while, but it helps you meditate. And so if you need like a talking app, then to help you meditate, that is a really good idea, if that can help. But even 10 minutes a day that you can find alone and quiet really can help. I'm huge into self-care. And you don't have to spend money on self-care. You can take baths with candles, with good smelling bubble bath, or just slowly doing your skincare at night, slowly doing your skincare in the morning, putting on your makeup, you know, just relax while you're putting on your makeup. Listen to an audiobook, and you know, you can do things like going to get massages or facials. Like, for example, there's a couple schools here where I live that are cosmetology schools, and we can get facials for really cheap, like way cheaper than anything else, and they're great. So that's what I go do sometimes, but right now I'm trying to save money, so I paint my nails myself. I haven't done that in a while. I need to paint my toenails, soak them, you know, do a foot scrub, use satin hands, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, just a lot of self-care for yourself. Like, take care of yourself. No matter if you have 10 kids and a husband. I mean, my life is really hectic, but I always find time, especially right before bed with my lamp on, to relax and take care of myself, especially like when I'm doing my skincare. Okay, so let's see some other things here. Oh, so sleep. Sleep has a major role in so much of your life, and being what's that word called? Deprived of sleep can wreak havoc on so many areas of your life. I mean, it can increase stress. I mean, it can increase weight gain, which can cause stress, which can, you know, I always try and get between 7 and 8 hours of sleep. There's days that I can tell, like when I go to bed late because I can't fall asleep or whatever, like I do not feel myself the next day. And so I feel off, my anxiety is worse. So try your hardest to get sleep. I'll just show you guys, actually. I got this from a chiropractor. He does spinal, like upper cervical area, but I don't know where you can find these. I don't know. I could ask him and try and post it, but this is a pillow for your neck. And since I've been using this, I sleep so much better. I wish I had one to give away. I don't know, but I don't, unfortunately. But, so yeah, sleep in the dark, no TV on, 7 to 8 hours. A lot of times I sleep with my TV on, so and a lot of people do, and honestly, like I like to have something to listen to, so then I'm not thinking as much, you know? So I don't know, but I don't think I get the best sleep that way. Use essential oils. So if you have a diffuser, I have one, you can't see it, but it's over on this table here, and I like to use different essential oils to I have one that's like a sleep one. I have like a calming one, and you know, different essential oils like that. I'm not really going in any particular order, and these are probably all over the place, but you know. Another thing that helps with anxiety or can help is exercise. So even if you go for a walk every day, you know, before I go to bed, I do like, they're called donkey kicks, and I do squats and I do sit-ups, and then at night sometimes I do dumbbells. I try and walk, but it's freaking raining out all the time, I swear. But yeah, exercise helps release those endorphins, which can help anxiety. Another thing is okay, so perfect example. So since I've been driving Lyft so much, I have laundry to do. I mean, my brain is so full that I can't even think of what all I have to do, and I have so much to do. So what I'm going to do tonight after this video is sit down and make a list. I'm going to write down everything that needs to get done because it's on my mind. And that way it's kind of out of my mind. It's on paper. I know I'm not going to forget about it because it's written on paper, so my mind doesn't have to keep thinking about it. So making lists, write down before you go to bed, what are you worried about? Write that stuff down. You have a trip coming up. Start making a list a week before your trip and write down everything that you need to bring, because if you're like me, you feel like for the first hour that you're gone that you totally forgot something. So, I mean, I already started making lists, and we're not going on vacation until the middle of January. I make lists for everything, and I feel like if I have lists written down, then I'm not going to forget something. Another thing is taking a break from social media. I really don't too much, but I unfollow a lot of people who post about political stuff, because that just gets me, regardless of which side you're on, gives me anxiety, and it scares me, and like I don't want to know what's going on overseas, and I don't want to know if we're going to be close to getting into war, and I don't want to know all that stuff. So I unfollow a bunch of people. I don't necessarily unfriend them, but I unfollow them, because if they post that kind of stuff all the time, I try to post positive stuff on my Facebook as much as I can, or on Instagram. So I also I unfollow like CNN. I don't check any of those out. And so getting bad news every day is exhausting and can cause, obviously, anxiety, especially if you tend to worry a lot. Let's see. So other things, listening to music, podcasts, watch your favorite movie. I have a movie that I play every single night when I go to bed, and that is Legally Blonde. I switch back and forth between a couple, but Legally Blonde, I have seen that movie like a bazillion times. It's a feel-good movie. So if you pick a movie that's like a feel-good movie, you've seen it a million times, you don't have to sit there and watch it and concentrate and just let it play. Like that, I don't know. Something about Reese Witherspoon in that movie is just so calming, because she's so positive. I don't know. So, another thing that you can check out for helping with anxiety is your diet. Eating a lot of sugars and drinking a lot of soda and having a lot of caffeine really, like soda has the high fructose corn syrup in it, and so many chemicals in it. And I know, a lot of people really love soda. I don't drink soda. If I do drink something, it's like a sparkling water. Soda is very, 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 very rare for me. Again, I'm doing the keto diet, so sugar is very rare for me too, although I was really craving, what was I craving tonight? Pizza and chocolate. But I notice, okay, so this is how I noticed that food really has an effect, right? So I'm doing the keto diet. I've lost 30.2 pounds, by the way, which is pretty awesome. But what I have noticed is that when I do cheat, and let's say I get pizza and have chocolate, I get heart palpitations. My mood starts really getting down, or I get anxious. And it's not because I feel guilty because I cheated. It's just the reaction of the food in my body. It's crazy, but like trying to get rid of those simple sugars or the simple carbs, try to eat whole grain if you're gonna, not do keto, and you're gonna have carbs. And I just feel like keto really helps with my anxiety, to be completely honest. And everybody has their own opinion about it, which is completely fine. That is your opinion. But I have a lot of good results. So, and not just weight loss, overall health and mental as well. Another thing that can cause a lot of anxiety is financial stress. So, me, being a single parent, my son's dad is involved. I do get some, a little bit of child support. I work 2 jobs, but there are times that I struggle. But things that I have done is getting rid of cable, and I have Netflix and Hulu. And so those really help. I have internet, and so I was paying like $60 a month for internet, and I called the company and I was like, is there any way that we can lower this bill? Like, this is paying $60 and my speed is pretty slow, and she says, actually, we have this special for 3 years, and it'll cost you like $39 a month, and your speed will be increased. And I'm like, why didn't I call sooner? Like, seriously. Or, call your credit card company if you have credit cards. If you've made on-time payments and been really good with your credit card, they may lower your interest rate. Contact your phone company, your cell phone. Make sure that, I have Verizon and they're super expensive, but every once in a while I call in and I just make sure that I'm getting every single discount that I can. There's just so many different ways, you know, to help with financial stress, and, you know, obviously getting a second job. It doesn't work for everybody, but, you know, doing Lyft works for me because it's really flexible. So, okay, so let me just make sure that I have everything on here. Oh, another thing that can be distracting and help with anxiety is blowing bubbles. I've read that some people like carry bubbles around with them, and when they're feeling anxious, they just blow bubbles. And so you're focused on something else, and then like if you're having an anxiety attack you feel one coming on, go into the bathroom and run your hands under really cold water, and it kind of shocks the system, and that can help sometimes. Also, having pets, if you have, you know, a cat or a dog, or, you know, a pet that makes you feel good. You guys know I have 2 cats, and I just love them to pieces. And I think that they help. You know, if I'm feeling kind of anxious, I just, you know, sit and pet my pets, or I watch like YouTube videos on like funny cats or funny dogs, and those always make me happy. So those are you know, really good ideas too. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know like when you get into where your anxiety is super high, it's really hard to think of what you're supposed to do. So making a list of ideas of what you could do is a really good idea, and have that list with you or somewhere where you know it, where it is, and you can be like, oh my gosh, you know, because I know like when I get really bad anxiety, like I can't focus on anything but the anxiety. So what I try to do is prevent it, reduce my stress, and things that can cause it. Like I'm going like preventative, you know? So I just accept anxiety as part of my life. It doesn't mean I'm a weird person or that I'm crazy, but I just accept it as a part of my life. It's like, well, it's there, you know? I mean, it's just like my blood clotting disorder, you know? It's there. And so, you know, it is hard when you're in that moment to think of anything else. But, you know, when they tell you to challenge your thoughts, that sounds so dumb to me. Like when they would tell me that, challenge your thoughts and try and think positive, and, you know, make it so these thoughts are automatic. And I was like, whatever. And, you know, I would do them, the things that the counselors would say. And I'm like, this is not going to work. But you know what? The brain is so powerful. So let me give you an example. Let's say that your friend calls you up and says, hey, I just bought a red Honda Civic. Have you ever noticed the next day you go out and you're driving around and you see like 10,000 red Honda Civics? That's because your brain is like on the lookout, because it's in your mind. Or that's the only example I can think of at the moment for that. But so if you have a scary thought in your head and you are giving your brain like the power, you're giving your brain the power to think that scary thought, it's going to keep thinking it because it's getting a reaction. So if you know, challenge that scary thought and try to ignore that scary thought, or just try and sit in it, and, you know, the mindfulness, just kind of sit there, be like, okay, this thought is scary to me, but I mean, is it rational? But the more that you focus on it, the more your brain's going to think about it. Later on in the day, your brain, it's going to pop up again. The next day it's going to pop up. It's going to keep popping up. But then the more that you practice getting it out of your head, and I'm just thinking from personal experience here, getting it out of your head and trying not to think about it and taking the focus somewhere else, your brain's not getting the attention that it wants, and so it doesn't really focus on that anymore. Does that make sense? So anyways, that's about all I can think of for the time being. I would love to know what you guys do for your anxiety. I know so many people have it, so I'm sure that somebody watching this video does have anxiety. So if you can comment, let me know. I would love to learn new tips, and maybe anybody that's reading the comments can see your tips as well. And, you know, we can just kind of help everybody and, you know, try and make people's lives better. So anyways, let's get on to the giveaway real quick, because this is going to be a really long video. Okay, so I said that one of the things that I really love to do, and it's one of my very, very favorite things to do every single night if I can, is color. So my giveaway today is going to be some coloring books. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick. This is one that I got here. It's Inspiring Color Designs. And here's, the light's not gonna let me. So it's got a bunch of different designs in it. Here's like one on the back page, you can see. So yeah, I thought this one was really cool. Another one is Flowers to Color. And so it looks like this on the outside, and it has pages like this. These are so much fun to color. Like that. And the other one that I got is Adult Coloring Fish. It says Relax and Rewind. So that is kind of the purpose, but it's got, what is this thing? Oh, wait, something horse. Seahorse? Yeah. Is that what it's called? Let's see. But like, look at this one. Like, how cool is that picture? So yeah, I got those 3 coloring books to get you started if you do not color, especially. And then I got some colored pencils. I have about bazillion color pencils. I swear I have like 100 different colors. I have markers. I have different kinds of markers. I don't really use crayons because they're a little bit thick at the top, but yeah, so you are going to win 3 coloring books and a box of colored pencils. So all you need to do is leave me a comment, leave me an anxiety tip. Like I said, that would be great. And like this video and make sure that you're subscribed. Let's get me over 100 subscribers. And also tell me, do you guys like lifestyle type videos like this, or you know, maybe something else lifestyle? I'm really researching and doing Law of Attraction. I can do something on that. I kind of want to mix it up a little bit. I'm taking classes for life coaching, so I'm learning a lot of really good things, and so if you guys would like more lifestyle videos just to kind of mix it up a little bit, let me know. And if you have any videos you can think of that you would like me to do, I've experienced so much in my life, so I'm sure I could probably do about anything. So anyways, I will let you guys go for now. Sorry this video is so super long, but I just wanted to get that out there, and I hope that I can help somebody. And so yeah, anyways, hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow night. I think my box is supposed to come tomorrow, so I will try to do that unboxing. So anyways, have a good night.